All right, ladies and gentlemen, what is up, YouTube? Welcome to another edition of After the Final Lap. Chris Chavez here, joined by Dana Giordano, and we're live here at the Prefontaine Classic, Hayward Field in the background. A beautiful night for racing, and we just got done with the USATF 10,000 meter championships. So Dana, two wild races to get us started. What are your initial feelings after watching both those races come down to the final lap?
You know, I think that these are the races we deserve to see this past summer when pretty much these same exact fields were going for their Tokyo teams, but the temperatures just weren't there. So tonight we have the absolute perfect 10K conditions, and I have to say the women's race is leaving me speechless because that race for third was unbelievable. We saw some incredible redemption by Natasha Rogers, out-kicking Emily Infeld for a journey that I like to say is 10 years in the making.
100%. Yeah, it was. So we'll hopefully get the members of the 10K team to join us soon. I know they're going through some interviews right now before they sit down with us. But so to recap the women's race, we saw a great battle between Alicia Monson and Carissa Schweizer going into the final 800, but it was, maybe about, 7K into the race, the final 3K, when the two of them really pulled away.
About 6K in there. Alicia Monson said, you know what, I am done ponying around, and it's time for me to go. I think the interesting part in the beginning of this race was we saw a much smaller field than the Olympic trials for the women in the 10K, and the noticeable absence of Elise Cranny, which I think we kind of have to lead off with, because Elise was about a second away from the American record in the 10K most recently at
the 10 by Sound Running back in March.
And really her absence announcing that she wasn't going to be at this race kind of left a big gap open for
that's one
that third spot.
For sure. Yeah, because you kind of assumed Elise Cranny didn't make this team in the 10K last summer. She finished fourth, but being a second off, you kind of think, okay, that person is pretty locked in for a spot for this team. And so Elise being absent definitely threw things into a flux, because had she been in this race when Alicia makes that move, I could see Elise being in that lead pack, and then that's your top three. Instead, we were left with Alicia Monson and Carissa Schweizer going 1-2, and a huge gap. And the battle for third was just incredible, because we had, at one point, 5 or 6 women in the mix.
That battle for third had Natasha Rogers, Emily Infeld, Weedy Kaladi, Sarah Lancaster, Emily Lipari. And then I have to say, Steph Bruce was in the backpack, came back up, clawed her way into that chase pack. And so from our point of view in the stands, we were having this very interesting dynamic of trying to watch the actual sprint finish and then not wanting to miss the real move of the race, which it was honestly more interesting at the time. But I kind of wish I went cross-eyed for a moment and saw everything, but I didn't.
Yeah, so in the end, we ended up with 2 huge kicks. Obviously, the kick for the win, which Carissa Schweizer just edged out Alicia Monson, and then in the battle
who wasn't at the Olympic trials.
No.
Came back
injured.
in.
Right.
We have Sarah Lancaster, the attorney turned very impressive, multiple, she's got a couple A standards under her belt. 34-year-olds up in there.
Yeah. I mean, so it really was, I think what stood out was Emily Infeld was also thinking about this. At some point with 1,000 meters remaining, she was like, I got to make a move even before that, because when you've got someone like Emily Lipari and you've got someone like Sarah Lancaster in there, those are two people that you don't want to leave it to who has the best kick, because as those who they flashed from 1,500 meter speed last year, you don't want the 10K specialist who might not have as quick wheels to leave it to anything under 60 seconds, because Natasha Rogers really did close a race not too long ago in 63, and so even with her, Infeld recognized that she was going to have her hands full, and so it ended up being those two with the lap to go. And it was tough to see that it got away from Wayne Colati, because I thought she would be in the mix right there, because we've seen so many close battles between her and Alicia Monson, but it just wasn't meant to be for her tonight.
And I think something that's interesting about that kick at the end is that I like to say that Emily Infeld has been creating in public. This is something that these Twitter entrepreneurs people say, but she has been creating in public. And what I mean by that is she's been posting about working on her speed consistently on Instagram. If you follow Emily Infeld, she talks a lot about she had major hip surgery. And one of the things that's been the hardest to come back for her has been that finishing speed. Mm-hmm. And she was going up against Natasha Rogers, who recently outkicked and outclassed a major field at the Sound meet, running, was that 15:03?
Yeah, 15:05, I think.
15:05, getting the A standard, really outkicking everyone. So, I think Emily has come a very, very long way. And it's honestly a little heartbreaking to see her not get that spot.
But the door isn't closed. She's got another chance in the 5K, so she'll be back here in a couple weeks for the U.S. Championship. So hope is still, alive for her to try and make that team.
It's hard, though, when it's someone who's medaled at a World Championship in a 10K. It's hard for me to see someone who knows how to medal on the world stage left off the team. But
yeah, that just shows how deep the United States is, though.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess I'm so many mixed feelings, too, because Natasha Rogers, there's so much to this 10K
I'm like keeping an eye. Oh, she's actually right behind us, so maybe we can get her to come on by.
She's so close to us, guys. She's got her flag.
Let's see if we can...
See, is that Kevin Hansen?
Yeah.
We're waving. We're trying, guys. They're having a little team huddle.
I thought we were supposed to have a wrangler for this that was going to bring us the guests, but they must not be doing it.
We're trying, guys.
Keith, can you try and get her for us?
Natasha! Yes.
Yes. All right.
All right. It's time. Scooch over.
Let's get our first interview here in the books.
Yay!
Yes. We've got some champagne here if you want to pop some with us.
Will it affect my drug test?
You can ask that, I guess.
I told you, Chris.
You can take the bottle with you, actually.
All right. This is what you do. We got these for you. We know you're a big headphone girl.
Okay.
So.
And then I guess just grab that mic. All right,
Yeah.
Awesome.
There you go. You look great. And then grab the microphone right there.
Perfect.
Hello.
Natasha, congratulations. You just made the World Championship team in the 10K. How does it feel?
I'm stoked. It's been a long time coming for me, and I just knew it this season. Like, sometimes you just know it, and it kind of helped me take a really chill, laid-back approach, which is very different from last year.
Mm-hmm.
How chill could you be in that last lap, though? Because Emily's right next to you, and it's she's got a World Championship medal in this event, but then you've also flashed some pretty good speed in some of your 5K races recently. So how are you feeling going to that final lap?
I was feeling very confident. It was too risky to go with the other two, so I was like, I'll just, that last mile felt way too easy. We were just going too slow. So with 800 to go, I was like, okay, I think I'll go for it. And I felt her on my shoulder. It didn't really scare me until that last 5 yards when she almost got me. And I was like, uh-oh. But then I was just like, no, this is mine. And I was able to dig a little bit deeper. But yeah, it was risky because she almost got me.
I want to talk about 2012. And I only say that because I've been saying that this team is 10 years in the making for you. You've had a lot of history with the 10K. You've had a lot of history with Hayward Field. Does this feel like redemption? What kind of word first comes to mind when you think about this race?
Redemption is a great word for it. I've had a chip on my shoulder. Sometimes it's been a negative thing in seasons for me. But this year, I think just like the consistency that I've been able to have with my coach and my team, and just, like I said, taking a different approach altogether. Like, I went to Columbia mid-track season.
I saw that. I was like, that's a bold decision.
Wait, what did you do in Columbia?
It was one of my best friend's weddings, wedding, singular. And you can't miss them all. There's always that next race around the corner. And I went with my best friend, and we just had fun. But let me tell you, it is impossible to run there.
Yeah,
so,
hilly. And also
I have
altitude.
not heard that Columbia is great for running. I heard a lot of other things, but
yeah. So I got a little out of shape, but it was worth it. I mean, I think even like just with track season can feel so long, and then like a lot of time you just burn out by the time you get to USA. So I think it worked in my favor, actually.
You should hold the mic a little closer.
Oh, sorry.
So I know we kind of mentioned 2012 when we bring it up, but like for you, we've had this kind of discussion before about how it's been a roller coaster over, a span of the past decade. At what point sort of did you find that confidence to like really believe that this could be the year that the ghosts have been buried and like all that stuff from 2012, but this was the year that you wanted to make this team?
I think like I've been racing so much, and like me and my coach agreed that like I need the experience, I need the exposure, and so like just constantly racing and getting some wins under my belt, that's what gave me the confidence. When I don't race enough, like it's just I'm like, how do I do this again? Like, so just doing it a lot.
When you're approaching kind of how you look forward to the World Championship, have you thought of how you're going to compete and race in that way? Is it going to be somewhat similar? Or I know you said you were a little conservative. You didn't want to go with the top two. Yeah. You were kind of holding back. Is it going to be not holding anything back? What's going to be when you come to Worlds?
I honestly haven't even thought about that yet. That's going to be scary because those girls are crazy. But I think that, obviously I'm going to have to be conservative. I'm going to have to, like, know my place and not run like an idiot, which I tend to do sometimes. So I'll probably just get in the back and, like, just try to hang on and cover moves with, like, the mid-pack. But I honestly don't have any idea yet.
Well, I think we skipped a couple steps there because we're still celebrating this win. So I want to hear a little bit more about how you think about that first half of the race when you guys are all bunched up, you're trying to stay on your feet. It feels easy for you. What were you kind of thinking about in that first half of the race tonight?
I kind of hate the 10K.
That's fine. It's fine to say.
Like, I do. I'm good at it, but like,
Like, just get a couple more Ks.
Yeah.
When they made the big move, Carissa and Alicia, and they've made an Olympic team, did you think for a second it was your time to go, or did you have a very clear race plan? I'm going to wait. I know that third spot is mine.
For a second, I was like, oh, I'll go with them. But when Alicia took the lead, it felt a little, like, risky for me. It just felt a little too hot, and like I just had a feeling that I would end up in no man's land, which you don't want to happen in a 10K because you're going to lose a lot of energy and it's going to be like a mind game for you at that point. So I held back.
So how are we going to celebrate this? Another trip to Columbia? between now and Worlds?
I think I'm good on Columbia. It was great, but it's a little
She
hot
can't
there.
run there.
Yeah, that's right.
She has to run still.
Yeah. How am I going to celebrate? I'm going to 6K champs next week.
Wow,
so
just right back into
Victory
business.
lap.
yeah. I need to make some money. So hopefully get some.
Yourself on the track again.
I do, yeah. I'm finally like a little bit more fearless. I've been running scared for years, and like in 2012, like I was scared to be here, but like I think the ignorance and the being naive kind of worked to my favor then. But when you get beaten up in the pro like league, it's just like you start running scared all the time. You're not confident, and like I've really worked hard this year to change that and to like put the preparation in to change that.
Awesome. Well,
love it.
we'll let you take one of these bottles with you,
I
and you
know.
can also.
All right, let's get drunk.
All right. Well, Natasha, congrats. We'll see you again here in a couple weeks for World. Are you gonna try the 5K as well, or are you just gonna, now you've got your spot? You're gonna, just.
Oh, I'm
She's gonna
definitely
victory
doing the
lap.
5K is my favorite.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
definitely coming back.
Absolutely, yeah. I won the 5K at Sound Running. It was just so much fun. I closed in a 63. So like
Why not?
I can
double
I can
down.
do that. I might be better at that, but we'll see. I mean, I know that Elise is coming back to run that, so it'll be hard. But I'm excited to go for that as well.
Awesome.
All right. Well, go get drug tested, and then if you have any of that left, we'll be here.
Yeah.
So you can come back to the couch whenever you want.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Awesome.
Wait, for real? I get to have this?
Yeah, take it with you.
Okay.
Yeah. You
You
earned
can
it.
share it.
All right.
All right, we've got another one coming up.
All
We got
right. We've
Alicia,
got,
come on in.
Do you want
What's that? Yeah, we'll go Dathan, you want to
Dathan,
come on too?
in. All right. Here you go. You want to grab these on, and then just hold the mic nice and close.
Yeah, it's pretty chilly here.
I know.
I'm like shivering.
No, so is Natasha.
I know. I felt bad.
We're doing this live.
Oh, that's a nice jacket. On, showing up.
It's an on jacket. Drop the link to the jacket in a bit.
Oh, we got another jacket.
And another one.
We need some blankets. Next time.
This one's the nicest one.
Oh, there you go.
Wow.
So this is the winter 2022 line.
Yeah, I've got like 4 layers on now, so we'll put the link in the bio.
Yeah.
Alicia, congratulations on making the 10K.
Thank you.
Do we don't say punching your ticket? We
No,
don't like that.
you secured your spot.
Secured your spot.
There's no more actual punching tickets. People scan things nowadays.
Yeah,
so
Yeah,
I
your
got my
QR
phone.
Yeah, your
code.
QR
has
code
been
for Worlds.
scanned.
Yes.
How's it feel? Did you remember this race?
Yes, I actually remembered this race. I did my victory lap. I was like to my parents, I was like, and look, I'm conscious right now. I'm finishing it. So yeah, it's kind of nice to just be able to soak this in and chat with people compared to last year.
It was not that much long ago that you were here making the Olympic team in ungodly conditions with so many more women on the track. How have you handled the past few months in, coming off of such a major event? You're not very many years out of college.
Yeah.
A lot has happened in the past year. New team, new city, new everything.
it's been a good 2 years for you. The last 2
Yeah,
years.
it has. Yeah, it's kind of nice this year. Like, this is my second full year as a pro, and I just feel like I have a lot more confidence now going into these U.S. races, especially because going into the Olympic trials, I was a little bit more of an underdog last year. Like, I was a rookie, so we didn't really know what would happen. So going into like a race like this, I was just like, I know I can get that top 3 spot. So I'm just gonna put myself out there and make it a good race.
So today you kind of took it right to the front, and so I guess how did you sort of make that conscious decisions like, all right, this is the time to make the move and not really like leave anything to chance. It was going to be you or Carissa for those 2 spots. And so third gets decided way behind you, but like that was going to be the race for the win. And you were the one who made the decision to go.
Yeah, Dathan and I were talking about the race, and we were just like, just stay controlled through 5K and be paying attention to like how fast it is. And so we knew that somewhere between 5K and 2 miles to go, I would make a move to make it a faster pace. And so since I saw like 15:50 or something on the clock, and I was like, okay, that's like pretty good. And so I waited a couple more laps, and then I was just like, once it's time to make the move, I'm gonna close the door and keep the pace up. So yeah, I was still like checking the screen every time I went by to just see like where the next pack was, just to make sure that
it's a really helpful jumbotron.
Yeah, very large jumbotron. It was great.
When you made that move, your face is extremely poised. Do you show any sort of discomfort when you get to that place? Because we were watching, we're like, she's got it. That's it. That's
you got
it.
a great poker face if you're in
great
pain.
Poker face. Is there a point where you're like, where do you break down in your form? When does that happen for you?
I mean, part of it is just that like the whole point for me in the 10K is just to try and stay as relaxed as possible. So even though I'm like screaming on the inside, I'm just like trying to just stay relaxed, because I was just like, that's the best part about finishing the 10K, is trying to just keep your form together. And so it wasn't until like a few laps to go where I was just trying to make sure that my mechanics were going. And then the last like 200, when Carissa and I were going in my legs, I was just like, come on legs, come on through. So yeah, I was definitely like, it was a lot harder to go at that point. But yeah, I tried to just kind of stay controlled the whole time.
Would you say you have a rivalry with Carissa now?
Apparently now, yeah.
It was like it was waiting for a bit. Now we're starting a new one with Carissa.
Yeah, no, it was good. But yeah, I mean, I feel like now that we've raced the Olympics and now we'll be on the team together at Worlds, I feel like Carissa has been kind of someone, like even at the Olympics last year, we were like, all right, she's someone that I can stick with through the race. And it was like a fast race in Tokyo, and so I was like, all right, just stick with Carissa and Emily. Like, we knew the U.S. people, I could stick with them. So yeah, I guess maybe it's a rivalry, but I'll have to work on it. Well,
the two of you were so close at the Olympics. I think you guys finished like right behind each other.
Literally right next to each other.
So what did you take away from that Olympic experience? Like, first time around, first like global senior championship for you, that you hope goes differently this time around for the World Championships? Because I mean, it's hard for me to be like, oh, what's your plan for Worlds now? But like, you did have Tokyo to kind of fall back on, and now you have what, maybe better than top 10 probably, like, on your mind.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in a much better spot strength-wise this year. Like, I'm just so much more fit, and I've gained a lot of experience. I raced Tokyo, and then I got to race some Diamond Leagues, and Serbia this year, I got to race the 3K indoors to work on my speed. So I feel like I just know a lot more about how those international races go, and like when there's a move, you gotta stick on it. So I feel like just because I'm so much more fit this year, that I am in a better place to actually stick on it. But yeah, it will be nice to just have kind of some weeks to recover, because I've kind of had a little bit of a weird month coming off of COVID. So it's good to have this time before Worlds to be ready to go.
Yeah. So we saw you on a roll indoor season. So you mentioned, I think the OAC team got hit pretty hard with COVID a month or two back,
everyone
right?
but Ollie got it. Well, and it was actually,
how was that possible?
How was that possible?
Everyone, what you got going on.
We'd think Ollie would get it and spread it to the team.
No, it's kind of weird actually, because like everyone but me, Ollie, and Dathan got it around just after Worlds, but then I got it like 3 weeks later. Me, Dathan, and another guy got it. Another on guy got it, and so it was kind of just like, it sucked because it was like a month ago, and then I kind of like, I kept on training, and my knee swelled up for some reason. Like, we didn't really even know why, but they think it's like associated with like inflammation levels for some reason seems to be higher after COVID, we're seeing.
Oh wow.
Weird.
But so we had to kind of deal with that. So it was kind of like, okay, these past couple weeks have kind of been weird, but I still was able to get some really good workouts in and come around. So we felt good coming into the race, but it was just kind of like such a strange month that we just had to be like, all right, you've had such a good year of training. We had to take it back just a little bit, but we're still ready to go.
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna get hit with like a COVID misinformation thing on this YouTube thing, but
Yeah, no.
but
Don't
also
be scared. It's fine.
because
You
then all
can
of a sudden,
get COVID and then make a world championship.
Yeah, that's what you
1
learn here.
month later.
No, but also, I mean, it is kind of crazy. It's like Sage opens up after COVID and runs like a PR, and Joe runs well in the relay, and wins today. Kind of moving on from the COVID thing. What was that special moment that you guys had after the men's finish? Like you went right up to him.
Yeah, Carissa and I were watching the finish. We were standing there shivering because we were like still in our uniforms.
You're like, our guys are out there.
I know, we had to watch them. That was such a crazy finish. Joe's lean. Oh my gosh, I was so happy to see him come out with that win. So yeah, it was great. I mean, he should be so happy. Yeah.
Well,
No, yeah. So the last couple of weeks, I guess, once you had the COVID, recovery,
The
COVID recovery. Then from there, I guess, was there a point in training where it was like, okay, like we're not that far behind in where we were before, this hiccup?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I was never really even like, I never really felt like it would put me behind. At some point, you just kind of need to take some recovery time anyways.
Right.
So my workouts were still going well. It kind of just took like 2 weeks probably just to feel really, really like I wasn't having any respiratory issues or anything like that. But I kind of was just like, I'll be fine. Just get in some good workouts if we can, but not be too concerned about it. Yeah.
do you come back for the 5K? We just learned
Yeah.
that Natasha's going to swing it back,
Oh,
run it
yeah.
go again, or are you just, 10K, heads down till July?
Yeah, so the plan is to go race 5K Diamond League in Oslo, which
Okay.
is mid-June. Really excited about that. And then we'll probably just decide right after Oslo whether I do the US 5K. We don't really know yet what I'll do. So yeah, it'll kind of be a last minute decision. So either 1 or 2 5Ks, and then after that, get ready for Worlds.
Perfect. Well, you know what to do now. It's between now and July. Just kind of get as fit as possible and then
Yeah.
put on a show back here in
Yeah.
2 months.
No, it'll be really sweet. I'm excited. I'm excited about it. I think we'll definitely be able to bring our best selves in the 10K, just because having this extra time is really great.
Well, I guess the even bigger thing is Tokyo, no families, no friends in the stands. This time around, how big is the Monson family going to be in the stands?
Oh man, yeah, we'll have to see. I was really happy to have my mom and dad here tonight, and yeah, it'll be definitely a different experience than Tokyo. A lot louder, so
Yeah.
that'll be good.
Well, we'll
Awesome.
be cheering for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Congratulations, Alicia. We will see you back here
In 2 months.
for 1
right.
month. Who
Oh
knows?
yeah, or 1
Yeah,
month. Well,
yeah.
we've got this champagne here if you want to take it with you.
Wow, fancy. I'll leave that for Joe. He can.
Oh, okay. All
Okay.
right, yeah, and then the two of you can just pop it in the
You
hotel.
blessed it for Joe.
Yeah.
Thank you
Awesome.
so much
Alicia,
for coming
thanks so
on.
much for joining us.
Thank you.
Man.
Sweet. All right, we've got 2 of the 3 down from
I
the
know.
women's
You
team.
crushed it. We got to get those jackets.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've got so many jackets. You guys will have to
I know.
Look at that.
On, we love them. Yes, we do. All
all right, let's see
right, who we
who
got?
else we got coming up.
Is that drug testing? No.
No.
No, that's PR.
Oh, that's drug testing.
We got drug testing PR. The people that follow us around here.
So it is interesting to hear that you make one team, but I think that was the beauty in part of what the planning behind all of this was, to separate the 10K championships and the 5K championships at the regular US championships, because you have the option to double down on both and also get athletes who peaked for this and can also be in pristine condition for the 5K, because you don't want it to be sort of like the trials where over the span of 10 days, you're running 2 rounds of the 5K and a 10K on those legs.
I think it's extremely smart too, because the 2 rounds of the 5K, that's a tough double. I think only Savon Hassan attempts that one.
Yeah.
And I think it gives us a better chance in a tactical 10K, because as Natasha was alluding to, the world level competition in the 10K is ridiculous. These women are running sub 30 races. So if the Americans want a chance to compete in, any sort of race, there has to be that time to train for it. And
Yeah.
I think usually the US system, you always say you have to peak for USAs. So this does give another training cycle in there. So I'll be interested to see from the coaches if they do take a little bit of time off.
So giving you guys a couple live updates if you're tuned in to just us and not actually watching the races live. We've got some results to go over. The women's 2 mile wrapped up a couple minutes ago. Francine and Saba ran a world leading time of 8:59.08. Won that race by 15 seconds because Beatrice Chibet was second in 9:14.71. Laura Galvin in third place. The former Mexican national record holder in the 1500. And the top American in sixth place was Helen Schlachtenhofen, which is kind of crazy because, she really doesn't go up
That's
this
not
far in
that
distance.
crazy.
You don't think so?
Well, I mean, if you look at all the women in the field, they're all 1,500-meter women, mostly except for Ellie Hennes.
Yeah.
So I think Helen's raced a lot more on the world level. So I don't think that's that crazy.
Well, I just think because, when I saw her at the Saucony 10K in Germany to run a 10K, that was crazy. So I just felt like anytime I saw Helen over 15, I was like, she made it a big deal that she's going over distance.
The 2 mile, I think, is a great distance. I honestly miss having a 3K at the world level because, that's just a great race. The 3K is a great race without the steeple barriers. So I miss it.
Then we've also got, let's see, who we got behind us here.
We got our PR intern, our press intern on the camera.
Right.
Adorable. There's a camera gal. She's running around. She looks like she's 8.
The women's 5K also just went final. Of course, the world record in this one is 14:05 or 14:06, I think.
I believe it's 14:06.
But it was supposed to be a world record attempt, but they were pretty far, not that far off of it. They were 14:12.
But an upset.
An upset. Tay from Ethiopia beats Gidey. Gidey, the world record holder, the half marathon world record holder, the 10K world record holder, finishes second in 14:24. Originally this was supposed to be a 1 hour world record attempt, and so
with
it switched
the wave
up.
lights.
Yeah.
So if you're inside Hayward Field, you can see that they have the wave light system, and they can set it up in a multitude of different ways. So you can have the wave light set for the world record, and you can actually have multiple paces on the track. So they had the wave lights set up for Gidey on purpose, but Tay taking it over.
Yeah. So
we're waiting for some of the 10K men's athletes to come through. We're chilling the champagne on ice for them.
what kind of bottle do we have on our hands
We
here?
have a La Bella Prosecco.
That you can get for like $10.99 out there. So
Yeah,
really
this-
celebrating our champions in grand fashion.
We're balling out. We're balling out.
So if we want to kind of, before we're joined by
Oh.
members of the men's team for the 10K,
I've got a fun fact.
what do you have a fun fact?
Helen, U.S. number 5 all time in the 2 mile.
Wow. There we
There's
go.
a fun fact.
There is a fun fact. So to kind of like go over the men's 10K race, we saw a little bit of drama unfold in this one because Woody Kincaid, the reigning U.S. champ in this one, came in and like probably training had been going well, raced well indoors with the 5K at BU. I think he ran 13:05 there or something like that, which was in like the slower heat of the 5K. But so he hadn't raced much outdoors, did a pace job at Sound Running. And then this was really his big kind of season opener. And about, 8K into the race?
Yeah, like minute 19, it was interesting. He
was
pulls
rough.
up, looked like a side stitch. Something was going on. Rather unclear what was happening. And really just stepped off the track. He kind of pulled back. Really, he could have tripped a lot of
It
people.
looked really, really painful. And so we don't know what the injury is or was. Could have been a really bad side stitch, a bad cramp, but like whatever it was, knocked him out. So he's got to come back for the 5K in order to make this team for the World
He
Championships.
looked extremely disappointed. I think there was
Yeah.
some expletives mouthed that you couldn't hear.
Yeah.
It just sucks.
So then from there, we had Grant Fisher kind of biding his time, waiting patiently to make his move, and didn't really go until like the final lap. And now, of course, like he is the American record holder in this event, so that's kind of intimidating.
The men's race and the women's race did what men's races and women's races do in the distances. The women were like, we're not going to mess around.
Okay.
And went for it. And the men just waited until there was 10 guys at the Bell Lab that could have tripped each other. And I don't know. It's just so frustrating. It's like if you're Grant Fisher and you have the American record,
Yeah.
why make us nervous?
He left it to the last lap. Ends up finishing second because Joe Klecker took it from about 2 or 2.5 laps out. Held on for the win, 28. I've got to check, but that might be his first national title because he's only been a pro for 2 years now. Then the third spot actually was pretty crazy because coming into the final home stretch, with about 200 meters remaining, we saw Emmanuel Bohr leading.
Fighting Sean McGorty.
McGorty closing hard. McGorty, who last year focused on the steeplechase for a bit. Before that was a 5K specialist, and now kind of throwing the 10K into the mix for his repertoire as to what his event could be. And so then he ends up kind of closing hard, and in the final 100 meters, Emmanuel Bohr is trying to block. Like, that's something that was defensive running right there. He was trying to make the block on McGorty from being able to pass him, but he kept looking back, kept swerving into lane 2-3, ends up falling with about 10 meters left in the race.
Ends up 8th. I felt that fall from my toes to my head. It hurt me, and it was so sad. Emmanuel Bohr really...
But Sean McGorty ends up taking the third spot, makes his first U.S. national team for at the senior level. And so, yeah, I mean, it's finally for McGorty sort of like making a team, check that box. Hopefully it's the first of more teams for him to make.
In the 10K, we never would have thought. He dabbled in the steeple there for a second, and then...
We saw
like 10K.
The first
it's time.
Yeah, I think he made his debut at the Sound running meet, and the thing was that Grant
There's so
Fisher,
much excitement by Grant Fisher. We kind of forgot.
stole the headlines, and Mohamed was right in front of him. And people forgot, like, oh, Sean McGorty ran an A+ sort of debut at this event and bided his time very well in this one, and kicked in the final 200 meters to snag the final spot.
I hope we get to see some of them. I don't know what these guys are doing, just not coming on final lap.
So I've seen in the comment section, Adam Scherson, Beer Mile Podcast chiming in. It is the first national title for Joe Klecker, so that's exciting. That's reason for us to pop some champagne.
Joe, where are you?
When he gets here.
We are cooling this down for you. It's nice and
I think those guys are still doing their victory lap.
They might still be doing the victory lap. Hey, you can walk the victory lap.
There's a lot of people to high five out there.
It's my whole mindset is that you worked so hard enough, you can walk the victory lap.
You know, as you should.
You know what? I want to kind of get on the Potts brothers here. Friends of the podcast.
Friends of the pod. Coming on, the Potts
Our
brothers.
fellow YouTubers here.
Come through.
Joshua and Aaron Potts, come and join after the final lap.
We're going to kick you off if we see a 10K, guys.
Yeah,
so
if you get
just
a
be
pro
warned.
runner, you guys are off the show.
Well, as long as we get to interview them after. We can't be too long.
You got the baton talk. Let's see the baton. All right.
This is crazy.
There's a lot of wires.
All right. We got our
trading
mic.
hands here.
I'm sorry.
Your
Hey,
mic.
listen, don't come after my wire work.
Yeah, it's a lot of wires here.
This wire work
All right.
fire.
We
All
got
right.
the running report.
The running report, the Two Black Runners podcast.
Yes, sir.
Joshua and Aaron Potts. What have you made of the 10K races here tonight so far?
I was inspired. We were sitting with
We sat with Carissa Schweizer and Sean McGorty. We were in the Bowerman Track Club
Fan section?
section.
You guys just
I
wanted
was
to be in it?
Yes, we were in it.
I felt like I was a part of Sean McGorty's family. I almost
got
came to
adopted.
tears watching.
You almost cried.
Low key, because
No,
his
bro.
mom was going off.
Did you see the last 100, Chris?
Yeah.
You almost didn't make it. I was all like,
We were just saying, Emmanuel
It was crazy.
Bohr.
Going into like the last lap, his mom was like, "Sean, you're boxed in. You gotta get out. Like, come on, Sean." And like, here's
'Cause he didn't
Grandpa
know.
was so
His mom had to tell him.
sweet, Like, it was crazy.
And then even with Carissa, like we were right there with her family. They all had the thunder sticks or whatever, just going crazy and yeah, it was hype. The Bowerman Track Club like fan section was definitely the second most hyped because I know you guys probably got to this yet, but Francine Osamba, when she ran that 2 mile,
Oh my
Burundi, these
You guys a
fans,
Burundi fan section too?
Yeah, it was
You were in it?
3 or 4 people, but we ran over there. We saw them in the stands, and we were like, "That is where we need to be," and we
Yeah.
ran over there.
Did you get them on?
Yeah, they're on the Pre-Classic Instagram story. Go check that out. They were hyped.
Go check it out.
So, are you invited to the McGorty cookout? Is that what I'm hearing?
I
I
think
low-key
so.
feel like I would be
I
for
think so.
sure, bro. And I knew I would because we
Was at the
watched
cookout.
Carissa race, and then when we were leaving, I told their family, I was like, "We're gonna be back for Sean." And like 3 laps to go, I was like, "Okay, let's go back over there for
Come
Sean
join us after.
to root them on."
After you cool down, come join us.
Guys, there's a lot going on. We are right behind Hayward Field, if you can see it back
We're
here.
just scooping
Kind of
up
above
anyone who
these
comes
steps.
left and right. We've got 216 people watching now. That's
Okay.
like a lot of people on the west.
Did that bump up once we came on or something?
Yeah, it
Oh,
really
yeah.
actually did.
Wow.
What did you guys think of Natasha Rogers snagging
Bro,
that third
I was
spot?
so hyped because I was at the Sound running meet when she ran the 5K and got
She
that
closed
win.
that in 63.
And she was like, I haven't gotten a win like in so long. Like I took a vacation for a little bit too to like
to
basically-
Colombia to
Yeah.
go to a wedding.
Yeah, she was
Turn
like,
up.
yeah, and I was like, yo, sometimes you gotta go turn up. And then she's like, yeah, now I got that confidence, blah blah blah. And you saw that confidence in that last 100 because she was down. It looked like she was gonna lose for a second, but she never like gave up. She didn't lose mentally and stayed focused. So I was super excited, and that's someone I want to find her because I want to interview her because
She
that
might
was
be in
dope.
drug testing with
Yeah.
a bottle of champagne.
Are they
Uh-oh.
does the pre-classic Instagram let you into drug testing?
I mean, we need to
I
go.
think we got to talk to Jake.
But I think the people want to see what it's like behind the scenes. We might need to get back.
I don't know if they
there.
want to see that close behind the scene there.
We don't gotta zoom in nowhere.
Zoom in. Why we even? Okay.
Y'all acting like that.
Hold on.
Hey, this is a
bro, hold on.
PG show. I'm sorry.
All right. So then, all right. So we were doing some interviews while the other races were going on. Can you give us a play-by-play of how the Francini and Saba's race?
Can you do our job for us? Thank
Yeah.
you.
I mean, it's gonna be hard for us to give you a play-by-play. We were running around too, to be honest.
But really, after the first two
You gotta
laps,
get the Garmin going for you
After
guys.
the
Yeah,
first
I heard.
Stands.
Wait, didn't she just like go in front of the Pacers?
oh yeah,
Yeah,
she was all
she-
like Rebecca Mara moved to the side for some reason. I'm like, I like Rebecca, and she just moved Rebecca to the side, and then I don't remember who the other pacer was, and then she just took the lead after like the first two laps and was like, I can do this on my own, and she almost did it, and like
I want to say
it was crazy.
I called that to Mac. I go,
It's a hard pace job. to,
I don't
like-
know if that pace is going to be fast enough because we looked it up. Mac,
Oh, here she comes.
I called it.
It's 4:30 pace, isn't it?
It's
Yes.
so
Rudy.
like leading
wanna
a
wave her in?
4:30. Incredible.
She gotta go
She
to
went the
drug
other way.
testing.
She went the other
Damn.
way.
Oh man.
Wait, do we gotta go watch this men's final?
I have a signed bib from her, by
You
the way,
do?
too.
Oh,
from
man.
last year. So I'm a
You're
big
an OG
fan.
stan.
Yeah, I've been
Weird
a stan.
flex, but
I've been
okay.
here.
Weird flex, but okay.
Hey, man.
All right.
All right. So you guys are gonna go in there and watch this 5K now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
See
So
this
we'll let you
guy.
guys go.
Hold
but-
on, before we
right.
go though, man. Everybody
on.
needs to go onto CITIUS MAG after the final lap. Check out right over here, Chris Chavez, Dana doing their thing on CITIUS MAG. Come on now.
Let's go.
Let's
Yes,
go.
sir. Make sure y'all tap in, man. Y'all gonna be on here for like about another 30?
Yeah. We'll be.
We're
here.
going to see everyone.
So stay up if you're on the East Coast. It's past your bedtime, but it's okay if it's track and field.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
All
We'll
right,
catch y'all later.
We'll check y'all. We'll check y'all.
All right. Always a pleasure with you guys.
Michelle, you want on? You got to go?
Michelle's got to do a job.
All right, we're doing group photo real quick. You can't leave yet.
That's some hardcore knowledge there.
There we
All
go.
right, thanks, guys. Waiting for the group photo on the live chat.
Someone.
We were
That's real
all in
behind the
it.
scenes.
Everyone
Kyle,
was
Kyle
in it.
Merber is up. He says drug testing needs a YouTube show. This is true. David Melly in the chat. Francine beat his high school personal best by cool 21 seconds. That's quick.
Wait, let's see how much Francine beat my high school best by. This is what the people came here for, learning about that.
It's after the final lap, after dark, basically.
After
'cause
hours.
It is past midnight on the East Coast. But
But you guys love track and field.
if you're here with us,
So
that
you're
means
here.
you love track and field and you're here with us. And don't forget, smash the subscribe button. We're going to be doing this again tomorrow after the Diamond League races here
Earlier
at
in
the
the
Prefontaine
day.
Classic. A little bit earlier, so you get to hang out with us. And we're going to bring you some even more interviews. So, yeah, I mean, it's been so much fun so far. And we're still waiting on the men's
They're
10K
making us wait.
team.
Like I said,
We'll
people think
we'll stay here all night.
people think women are slow to get ready, but the men, they are soaking in this final lap.
To cool down, they're slower.
Maybe they're actually just cooling down. Like,
could be.
nah, we're out.
All right, so let's see. I was gonna pull up some.
I want Sean McGorty on this because I think
I wanna know
What are you guys most excited to watch tomorrow? That's what I want to know.
the men's 100. I think even though the fields changed a little bit and we were promised, the Olympic champion Marcel Jacobs and just kind of the rewind of the Tokyo Olympics. I still think it's pretty awesome. And I think Arian Knighton, the 18-year-old coming into this fresh off his high school graduation, see what he can run. Noah Lyles and I chatted about it yesterday. Check out our pre-show from yesterday. I thought it was a lot of fun to see just like, hey, how he thinks about that race. Because he's got he's got a pretty solid 100-meter personal best, but he's probably maybe people's fourth or fifth pick in the race. So Christian Coleman is in it, Fred Curley. So Trayvon Bromell, it's going to be stacked. So I'm really looking forward to the 100. It's crazy to think that, a 9-second race can captivate you so much.
Who's your winner?
Ooh,
That's
a
really
tough one.
tough. I'll probably say someone now and then wake up in the morning and say someone
Regret it.
differently. So I would go right now. I'm going to go with Trayvon Bromell. And I'll wake up and I'll say Fred. And when I show up to the track tomorrow, I'll say Christian Coleman. So it's really that kind of race. That's totally just it. We could walk around the stadium and ask 100 different people and we'd get so many different answers. Dana?
I was really excited for the women's 8, and I'm pretty sad that Athenu scratched because we haven't seen a lot of her racing. Kaylee Hodgkinson is here. I wanted to see that rematch. I still think it's going to be an incredible race, but that's kind of a bummer for me because that was my top race for a couple of weeks now, hyping myself up to see a thing come back out here. At
I think
Parade.
it'll be pretty solid. And the 800 is just sort of like the 2 minutes that really captivates you. And the thing is that Ajay really hasn't lost an 800-meter race all year. And now this is the hardest field she's had to face so far. But it is a good litmus test before the World Championships.
I talked to Ajay as well, and it seemed like she was just enjoying Hayward a little bit more than, the last couple times coming back for last year, as well as, the trials are such a pressure cooker. So a lot of these athletes are really enjoying themselves and having fun in Hayward again. And I think the trials are intense. So a lot of these athletes, they're taking back the Hayward magic.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I think Ajay is gonna go pretty well tomorrow, and I'm right with you, Dana. The vibes from Ajay and Ajay's camp were high.
Yeah,
So
Natoya
I
Gould
think-
is here too. So
Yeah, and she ran really well in Birmingham.
Natoya Gould will not let this go slow. So that's what we can be sure of because the women don't want to run slow.
All right, here's a question: will the women's 800 rabbit actually help the field, or will they be
No.
15 meters out front like always?
I think it's just tradition at this point for the rabbit to go out.
You can't get a 400-meter
and
runner.
Hayward loves tradition, so why break with tradition?
Maybe they'll run the time, but they'll lead out into 25 and then
I'll tell you
come
what,
back.
the Bowerman Mile. I mean, it would have been a very easy answer to pick that one, but I'm curious to see what Jakob ends up running, and really if he's the one commanding it from the front, how fast he could probably drag someone like Cooper and Cole to a fast time, or if an upset could be made there. So I'm curious to see how that race plays out as well.
I said this I think on Twitter. I think I'm most excited. The most excited thing I'm about the Bowerman Mile for me is Cooper not having to lead at an awkward distance out from the finish line. He's usually leading with like a weird 600 or 500 out in races that I don't think he needs to, and I think that's kind of why he ends up at second in some of his races. So I think Cooper's running. I think he's running 3:48 tomorroh.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, if the race goes and the
What's
weather
the
isn't
American
horrible, it's 46.
Yeah.
3. That's
The
not
weather's
happening.
going to be horrible.
Yeah, the weather's gonna be bad, Mac. I got a rain jacket ready.
I don't.
The temperature matters more than the rain. So if isn't too cold, I think I really do think it could still be under 350.
Are we accounting for a little Hayward magic? You're somebody who's actually felt it. Can you describe what Hayward magic actually feels like?
Well, it's a lot different if you run for the school or if if you run for one of the
So
clubs.
Cooper and Cole are gonna feel something.
You got that extra magic, that extra strength.
Absolutely. Oh, that people are rooting a little bit harder for you, and that when they're screaming, it's more for you.
Yeah.
So, and this, I don't know, because there's more people here than any other track pretty much in the U.S., the pressure is amazing. It just turns into excitement. It's not like, oh, no, I'm scared. It's like, oh, there's absolutely no reason I can fail now because all these people are here to watch us.
Yeah.
It's not a fear thing. It's an excitement thing. And I think that's what the magic is.
Ooh, I love that. That was poetic, Mac. I think we need to print that on a shirt.
Is that up on Bonfire already?
Yeah, we're gonna get the shirts printed. Mac.
Very small print, the whole thing.
All right.
It's actually one of those shirts where you highlight certain words and it says something else. I see our Wranglers is waiting.
Oh, really? We got.
Well,
our
no.
Wranglers are waiting to get people as
our
they leave the
Wranglers
mix.
trying.
Dathan has promised us Joe Klecker,
We were promised.
and then Shalane has told us that Carissa might be after drug testing. So
which, you know,
We'll stay here all night
does
if we
take
have
a
to. Some
while.
people do take a long time in drug testing. Dana, what is the funniest drug testing story that you have?
I've only been drug tested once, and it wasn't funny. It was actually just
Just
so
all business?
No, it was just sad because I
Okay.
got second to last in NCAA's in a 5K, and I had to get drug tested. And I go over, and the woman pulls me off, and she goes, "You have to get drug tested." And I go, "Really?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm sorry." And then I tell my mom, and she goes, "You should have done drugs." And I was like, "Mom, that's not what you say to the drug tester." Anyways, guys, hydration is key. I then drank 8 water bottles and couldn't pee for an hour and a half.
Wow.
And I got laughed at by Jenna Prandini. So that's not funny. It was all just rather sad.
I hope I get drug tested tomorrow after I run the 400 here. People forget. If you go on the Diamond League website right now, under start list and
This
results.
guy visits Eugene one time, and he's like, I hope I get drug tested.
Go to the
Chris,
Diamond League website
where do you
right
get drug
now.
tested? Point where it is here.
You pee in a cup, right?
No, but where?
Here? Like,
Yeah.
Where's the drug testing? Isn't it over there?
Oh, you got that right.
Couple tents down. There,
There
you
you
go.
go.
But if you go on the Diamond League website, here's what I want to point out. My name is on there. Like, I've never had my name on the Diamond League website as like a entry to a race. Dana, you're up here too. You're in Heat 1 of the race the 400
I didn't
wave
sign
light
up for
tomorrow.
this.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you. I signed you up for this, but we're in the same heat. I brought spikes.
Wow.
I brought a singlet. I'm kitted out for tomorrow
You're kitted out.
to run a nice, cool 80-second lap around Hayward. The lights have never
Amazing.
been set that slow in history.
Wait, so who did they set the lights for? Who requests it? No, actually, no. It's one lap of someone's.
Yeah, like record pace. Like a
Isn't
thing
it-
mows like record pace. is
Oh,
what
it's
the lights
the
are-
thing Mo's pace.
I think so.
Okay.
So,
So it's gonna be too fast for all of us.
yeah, I think so. I sure
Yeah,
think
good,
so.
good. Man,
Oh, now people are setting an over-under for my 400 in the YouTube chat. So over-under 80.20. Life's
If
too
you
short.
don't break 80, come on, Chris.
I'd have to do it strategically.
It blades out
Yeah.
and just
80 seconds for the 400 for me.
Yeah, you better get out. Your first 10 steps better
I
be
had
hard.
Chipotle for dinner tonight.
it's tomorrow.
All right,
is
yeah.
it in the morning?
YouTube-
When
yeah, it is at 8 a.m. I am not even a morning runner. Like, I don't run till like 4 p.m. most days. This is what people tune into after the final lap.
No, they don't. They're just waiting. They're biding
Wow,
their
here we go.
time.
People are hitting the under for my 400. All right.
Oh.
Hopefully we've got some more people joining us soon. I'm so disappointed the Potts brothers left us. We've got a 5K on the track right now.
They're interviewing people and ask how to spell really hard words and just doing a lot more than we are.
So if we look at the 5K's done. No, it's not. It's still going on.
We need a TV. That's what we
I
need
wish
to
we had a
upgrade.
TV in here because we're missing all the action.
All right, here's a question. Who is going to be the top American in the women's 15 tomorrow? And if you want me to read it off the Americans,
Yes,
I can.
please
We've
for you.
got Josette Norris.
All right, we have. Do you have it? Do you have the list?
No, I'm just
No.
going by
All right,
memory here.
I got it.
Ellie.
We have Sinclair, Johnson, Shannon Osika, Corey McGee, Josette Norris, Ellie St. Pierre, and that is it. Who's going
whole
to be the
field's
top American?
Americans?
No, I mean I'm saying who's going to be the top
No, I'm
American.
just saying it's a lot of Americans.
It's hard
About
to
half.
bet against the U.S. champ with Ellie Purrier. So I think I'm going to go with her as a safe pick. But also, like,
All right, I'm not going to pick her then.
Is this the first? When's the last time that she's raced?
I think this is her season opener.
After her silver medal at
Yeah.
the World Championships.
Right,
which-
so it's been a while. This is
Same
her.
with
This is her
Josette.
rust buster.
Hey, rust busters left and right, I think. But it's kind of crazy for me to hear people say, like, oh, it's still early in the track season. It's like USA's is next month. Is it really that early?
It's not that early at all. I think it's been a little strange this year. No, I'm gonna take it back. It hasn't been strange, but the meets have shifted that people go to.
Okay.
So Oxy used to be this kind of big meet that everyone showed up for, and kind of went off last weekend without a lot of fanfare. So I think the timing of when people get excited, like the track meet was such a big meet at the beginning of May.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a fair amount of time till USA's. So if you didn't see someone come out with a bang at the track meet, we really haven't seen them race.
Yeah.
All right, here's another head-to-head
I like these
questions that I
man.
got for you in that race. These are the storylines that I think are interesting. Former teammates, Laura Muir and Gabrielle Stafford. Who's taking that one?
Laura Muir looked good in Birmingham, so I'm going to go with Laura Muir. This is kind of crazy for me to just pick favorites, but
Gabby Stafford
actually,
was
Gabby
out there.
Gabby Stafford's a big CITIUS MAG supporter, so I'm going to go with Gabby Stafford.
I'm going to say Gabby Stafford was out there ripping her pre-race warm-up. I didn't see Laura Muir, but based on those 3 strides I saw, I'm going Gabby.
She's rocking the Canada kit tomorrow. She looks good.
Is she?
Yeah, Canada kit.
I guess I need these picks too. Laura Muir ran away from the field in Birmingham, didn't she?
Yeah.
Laura Muir,
She does it all the time.
But
Classic
Gabriella
Laura
has
Muir.
been finishing insanely well in her races.
Yeah.
who's your pick?
I'm gonna say like the weather is gonna be the factor.
So you're
And
saying
that
that-
goes to Laura Muir.
The Brit.
Yeah.
I've seen some of those workout videos. They're just miserable all the time.
My DraftKings isn't working because nothing from track and field is showing up today. or for tomorrow.
Where are the bets?
All right, what else?
Yeah.
Oh man, I see Sean McGorty. He has left the tunnel. He's on his way.
Oh, he is?
No, well, he's talking to Keith.
Oh, yeah. So we'll get Sean McGorty for a little bit, hopefully.
Yep, but he's not wearing any warm-ups, so it might be a moment.
We might need to get him a jacket. Mac, sacrifice your sweater for him.
But we need some
if we have
blankets.
to. All right, so we're going to be joined with by members of the 10K team hopefully pretty soon.
They're coming, we promise. Who knew that a victory lap took so long? Not
What else we
I.
have? All right, men's shot put. How about that? We've been pretty invested in the shot put guys this whole week.
We've learned a lot about the ring.
Are we picking up another favorite? Yeah. Chris and I have learned a ton about the
Because
ring.
We're big throws guys, yeah.
You're trying to learn a ton about the shoes.
We've learned a lot about the shoes, the speed of different concrete,
Yeah.
acid washing concrete, and we're basically like construction workers now, or we could just build our own rings now. Basically, Chris or I, if we could pick up a bag of concrete, but I don't know if we can.
Let's
Yeah.
go mix our own.
Yeah, it's going to be fast. It's going to be interesting. Knowing what I know about shoes, everyone talks about the shoes in the track, but there's, some shoe talk in the throws game too, about slow shoes and fast shoes.
New shoes and old shoes.
New shoes and old shoes. I'm going to take, maybe, is it being crazy to take my guy Joe Kovacs here for the win? Tom Walsh is also looking pretty good, so I'm going to go with Joe Kovacs.
All right, so just so we can
You're
geek.
always going to go with Joe
I'm always going to
Coates.
go with Joe Kovacs,
Chris
no
has
matter
a
what.
bias here, guys.
You know I'm writing a book with him, right?
Yeah, and you should probably pick him. But no, I thought what was interesting is, so Kovacs it's Velasa. Velasa makes traditionally a slower shoe than the Nike shoes. The Nike shoes, the rubber on the bottom's a little bit harder, and all of the throwers have been saying that this particular ring, especially the men's ring, the women's ring is a little bit slower for some reason. It's like different concrete. I don't know what.
Is the one in the middle, the men's ring? Where
There's only two
Oh,
of
yeah,
them.
it's
The
on
one
the
closest
left.
to the
Closest to the home
grandstands,
stand, yeah.
the
Okay.
home stand. But because it's so slick and everyone's anticipating rain tomorrow, it's a big issue on their step in the middle of the ring, and that's when people fall when they're trying to put force to the ground as they're turning on it. So everyone today was trying like all of their shoes. So Ryan Krauser in a traditionally like a faster, harder rubbered shoe was using his like oldest, most scuffed up shoes because they're slower and he gets like just a little bit more grip. It was really fun watching all the throwers like try to feel out how it was going to be. They were dumping water bottles.
That's what I was going to
on the
mention. They
ring.
were dumping so much water on there. Do you think this is something that how many times have they dumped water in practice? Just
thousands. Honestly,
Simulate
probably
the rain.
thousands of times. Yeah.
Simulate the rain as much as you can because you're throwing from a puddle.
looks dangerous.
Big throws guys over here. We've learned so much. Those guys are so fascinating.
They also are so open to speaking with you in the middle of their warm-up, unlike
Yeah.
everyone else who just walks away.
It's the best. If you guys aren't hooked on the shot put, you should be. All right, we're getting some results pouring in now from the men's 5K. Joshua Cheptegei for the win in 12:57.99. So a ways
Not-
away off the
not a
world
world
record.
record.
We
But-
didn't see any world records tonight.
And this is why I think I can speak for us at CITIUS MAG, is that we like championship racing. We like
racing a lot.
like head to
the
head.
head-to-head battles. And so today, it just wasn't the night for world records. So Cheptegei takes the win. Mengesha from Ethiopia takes second in 13:01. Sam Atkin back in fifth place, 13:15. Big personal best for him. Ed Cheserek, first race at the New Hayward Field, takes 7th in 13:25.
Ed Cheserek watching the 10K finish
Yeah.
with Chris. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, shoot, I got to go warm up.
He was just standing right next to me the entire time. He was like, oh, I think Emmanuel Bour's going to get it. They didn't really pan out for
He
him.
was so close.
So close. The top American in the race is Mason Furlick, back in 10th place, 13:48.
We have another 5K tomorrow, so we can try this again. We can go for another world record tomorrow.
It actually
run
would
it
be,
back.
it would be pretty funny if like the world record comes out of the non-world record branded race, because tomorrow's race features like the Olympic silver medalist in Mohamed, the 10K gold medalist in Salomon Barega. You've got Samuel Tafara, I believe, who won the 3K gold medal at the World Indoor Championship, or the 1500 gold medal at the World
Someone
Indoor
commented so slow, almost the women's 5K time. 12:57.
No.
It was a ways away from the 14:05 that we were kind of looking for, but it's tough when it's set up for a 5K record attempt. But I'm a little sad that we missed Cheptegei's celebrations because he has such good ones.
He does the
chest banging.
The chest banging for sure. So there you have it. You have the results flashing on the screen for you guys.
Look at us.
We're getting a little innovative, Mac, with these graphics. Tell the people back at home, I guess, all the work that you put in to make this all happen so far.
Well, I don't know. It's just it's a lot of watching YouTube on what do I have to learn in order to get our ideas to happen, and it's like kind of putting fires out back here because I didn't go to school or anything for this. So I'm sorry for the audio every single time we do this. I'm trying. I'm trying here.
It's more of an imagination. What do you think that they're talking about?
Yeah. And then later on, we'll dub it for you like it's a foreign movie. All right, so we're waiting for more of our guests to join us here. Let's see if I could pull up those results again.
For which race?
The men's 10K.
We could talk about the beginning of the men's 10K a little bit.
It was crowded.
We had our Hanson's Brooks athlete. I think that was wanted to make sure I get his name right here.
This is Zach Panning.
Yep, Zach Panning kind of went out and took it out for a couple laps, and I find it very strange when someone wants to lead a 10K. I've never run one, but that seems like a long ways to do the work. But then again, you're kind of out of the traffic of everyone else.
Yeah, I think my only experience in a 10K is pacing 5K at Stanford, Peyton Jordan, something like that, one of those. It was a perfect pacing job, so I mean,
A+.
I love 10Ks, but yeah.
What's the perfect pacing job, Mac? I know this is a little controversial. What does it take to be a perfect pacer?
Be aware of what the actual race is doing behind you. I don't understand why people go out so hard and then don't look behind them. It's not hard. You're not running the whole race. Just turn around and look and help out. It's not that hard.
We're patiently waiting here for some more guests to join us.
We are patient. There's a bunch of the guys. I see some flags. I see Fisher and McGordy. They're taking pics, guys. I can see it.
We're getting close.
They've got tights on.
I have to start yelling for them.
So, if they're even allowed to come over here.
Yeah. It's the whole Barrowman squad. They're all already celebrating. They've got their champagne here.
No, that's Joe champagne.
We have another bottle.
We have a third bottle.
Oh,
yeah.
we do. Okay,
Yeah.
put it on ice.
This bottle cost us a good $7.99. The price went down from the last time I said it because I couldn't hold the secret.
Look up La Bella.
Yeah, it is. Someone looked it up. It's Target $7.99.
$5.99. All right, we'll cool this one down. It's the Bowerman guys. They look like they want to come. They're thinking about it. Guys, we're trying for you. you know, they can tell we're staring at them, and it's not uncomfortable. It's just time for them to speak with us.
I just lost my water bottle for a second. I was looking for it.
All right, guys. They're going to come on. We're ready. Let's talk about Grant Fisher's American record.
Grant Fisher's American record was so... Are they coming back? Oh. So impressive. Or maybe we could get this... Craig? Should we get Craig on to talk about pacing?
Craig!
Craig!
Come here.
Come and join us here for a sec.
Yeah, that was slow, man. It was awesome.
All right.
Yeah.
Craig, with the pacer bib, toss these on real quick.
We're just...
Yeah, since I
live.
just got asked a question about perfect pacing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and now
Come
we
here.
actually have the perfect
Yeah,
pacer.
we gotta
How come
to-
you're not wearing them?
I
We've got
we
these
got the
in.
small ones.
Yeah.
Here you go. Nice and close to the face. Hey.
How's it
Sup?
going, guys?
The
How you
master
doing?
pacer.
Even better, we got the best rabbit in the world.
Thank you.
So we were...
Swinski isn't around, is he? He's not
No,
gonna
yeah,
come
don't let
fight me.
Swinski
Don't
here.
tell him.
We can both share it, right?
So we were just asked like what does it take to be like the perfect pacing job? And so like today, what were your instructions and how'd you go about executing it?
I don't know. I just try to make it all feel like a tempo. You know?
Really?
Yeah.
How long did you stay in for?
I did a mile. Yeah.
Nice.
Were they on you?
Good. Yeah, they're right there. So
And then did you watch? What happened?
I did. You get the best part about pacing is when you're done, you get the best seat in the house. You
We're-
just get to roam around the infield. Sure.
And then when you were watching them, and you were like, okay, come on, guys. I did my job. It's time for you to do your
You know,
job.
after I'm done and it goes well, I'm like, I want to do as best as possible so that I get invited back. You know.
You get invited back.
Yeah.
Maybe they throw you a little. Have you ever gotten like the little bit of cash thrown your way for like a hey, you just paced me to a PR or a
Actually,
record?
Only once. It was Josh Kerr.
Josh Kerr,
Yeah,
that's
Josh
a good
Kerr.
man
Did you get a
right
bonus
there.
for that?
Got a nice Venmo from Josh.
Wow.
Oh.
Josh is the homie.
You get
Shout out, Josh.
Josh, if you're watching
Yeah.
at 10:04 p.m.
So tomorrow you're coming back and more pacing or racing?
yeah,
tomorrow?
yeah. Pacing the other 5K.
Wow.
Should be a
One
little
more mile?
Should be a little easier than that.
Wait, so
That
the
was a little
instructions are
spicy.
different. What did they ask for today, and then what's the instructions for tomorrow?
Today was 60.5.
Wow, just
yeah.
click those off.
Yeah.
Oh
So-
man,
I think we were right there, like 401, 402. So
is that
That's
just like
good.
at this point? Are you racing with a watch, or is it just a metronome? You know what it is.
no. But tonight they had those lights.
Oh,
And it's
okay. So the
easy.
lights make it easier.
Yeah, the lights. I start seeing more of them. Like, no, I got to speed up a little bit. But I don't know. I try not to focus on too much because it's like
Distracting.
yeah. I feel like you start to get a little choppy sometimes.
What does the rest of your season look like? Are you racing?
Yeah.
What's going on?
I've steepled twice and it's gone terrible. So
But you're fit.
yeah, I know. I've been training great. I think I got in a little bit of hole. Like the whole last week, I just jogged like 20, 30 minutes every day.
Wow.
And then
And
you
I
busted
felt-
out
I
a
felt pretty good
solo
out there.
4-minute mile.
Yeah, it felt pretty good. So I think it's working.
Are some of these pace jobs, and it's only unique because there's only a couple of you guys that can do this. If you feel good out there, does it give you a little bit of a confidence boost? Like
Oh,
you felt
yeah,
good
for
today,
sure.
so the next
Yeah.
time, the next couple of weeks, are you going to kind of ride that a little bit?
That's the best part about it. Last year I paced so much that I got so comfortable going out like in fast paces and like getting on big starting lines. So it does help. Yeah.
We have a controversial question for you.
Okay.
Is the pacer allowed to stay in the race?
Yeah. Why not?
Like you would finish your
And
race,
to
like
go
if you
for the
felt really
win?
great.
Yeah, you could. I think as long as you're not
you tell people?
impeding anyone, like that's.
Do you say, hey guys, I might stay in if
What's
I
the
feel
close?
good?
What's the
Some
closest
races,
you've-
I don't know. I'm
I usually-
going to disagree with Craig here. If you stayed in,
like
Today?
the Bowerman Mile. If like you were pacing for the first 800, but you felt great, like you'd stay in.
Yeah, but
You get chewed
if
out.
that-
you
by
would
the
never be
organizers.
invited back. You would, you could,
Well,
but you would
the
never
odds
be
of
invited
The
back.
odds of me being able to run any further than what I'm supposed to, like the Bower Mile, are slim. I'm usually redlining by like, I'm getting right to that point.
So you're,
But-
you're optimistic about your pacing. You're like,
No,
if I
there's
feel
been-
good, that's the best day of my life. I'm staying in it.
Yeah, there's been races with prize money where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna stay in, I think. And then by the time I get there, it's like, I don't know what mental system you use pacing.
You go, I gave myself permission to
Doesn't-
drop out, and I'm doing it.
Yeah, it never works out. It's tough.
All right,
Oh,
that's been the hot topic of the week is can pacers stay
So
in?
what's the after tomorrow? What are you doing
What's your next
next?
race? Yeah.
Portland Track Fest, yeah. So
Steeple?
I guess I'm like maybe I should run a 1500. I don't know.
When we saw you last year, when Kyle and I were in Kansas City, and you were self-coached at that point, still self-coached, right?
We got another mic.
Yeah, pretty much.
We got another mic.
Still coaching myself. I mean, I work out with Engels and Charlie Hunter and Union guys a lot, so I do a lot of their workouts. But whenever I'm not with them, I'm usually just doing stuff I've known for years.
All right, we got Ellie Hennes coming on, joining
What's up,
us.
Ellie?
Another special guest.
Yeah, the L goes on the left. The
Yeah,
left.
I know.
Yeah, we got it.
I was looking at. I can't figure out the headphones. It's okay. I got it.
Welcome to After the Final Lap.
Thank you.
So-
I'm honored to be here.
Ellie, you ran. I'm trying to pull up the final results
How'd it
here.
It went pretty good.
No, we just let them interview each other. We don't need to be
We
here.
had
Yeah.
we had the same thing for breakfast, lunch, and
Yeah.
What was it? Tell us.
What did we have for breakfast? We had
Bagel sandwiches.
Vero.
yeah,
Is that how you say it?
yeah, Vero
Okay,
bagel sandwiches, and then
Um,
the same sandwich from like across from the
What
graduate.
did we get? It was provisions
provisions.
melt. That's what.
Yeah,
that's the
but
sandwich,
it
if you
worked.
wanna know.
It worked.
Wow.
So how'd that 2 mile go?
That hurt.
It hurt?
It was good.
9:18.
It was good. Yeah.
Your PR by over a minute, right?
Yeah. 10:24 from high school.
There
so,
you go.
That's a pretty good high school time.
Thank you. That was, I mean, I think
How
it
does
was
the
32.
recruiting process work when it's your mom?
We sit in the living room, and she's like, "So you're not going anywhere else, right?" And I'm like, "No."
Sounds simple. If it was only like that for everyone else.
I know, right?
So when you're in a race that is dubbed a world record attempt, like how did you go about like thinking it was like, all right, see you guys, like I'm gonna run my own thing.
Did you have your own dots? Your own wavelength dots?
I think there were some dots. I don't really want to look at the pacing lights. I just focused on Anna Camp's back. But honestly, it's really exciting to be in a world record attempt race because it's like, you get energy from like watching them run really fast.
Yeah.
You know?
So it
Takes
was
your mind off it.
so
You're
today-
watching the race.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Best
I'm
seat in the
just
house. I
saying.
think that's the best seat in the house.
I'm skeptical of the dots too.
Really?
I'm skeptical.
I
of
swear there was a little bit there where they sped up. They put a little surge in.
They're like,
There's just some kid in
I
the
don't think I
stands
just fell
controlling
asleep.
them on his phone or something like that. Yeah.
that. Trying to make sure you're paying attention.
it's actually just a rave, like ready to go to the music, like vibing out there.
I wish that'd be so fun.
So Ellie, was this just kind of like a little bit of a test run with the track, just to see how it's feeling for the 5K next month?
Oh yeah, breaking in Hayward Field.
Yeah.
Coming back here after it's been a year. So
You had
Yeah.
a pretty good showing at the Olympic trials, so you got some good memories here. Did
Oh,
you
yeah.
feel the Hayward magic tonight, or was it? Yeah, you felt it.
oh yeah,
Tell-
I love Hayward.
You love it.
Every single race I've done here, I love it.
Have you ever had
Really?
a bad race here?
Not yet, but
Not yet.
wanna-
Knock,
Yeah,
knock
knock
on
on
wood.
some
yeah.
wood.
would get that.
There's some over there. Don't get up.
Wait,
Eventually.
so
That's amazing. You've never had a bad one.
I mean, I've raced here 3 times, so I guess.
I guess
the
the-
more
what
that I
about-
race here.
Have you never raced in the old Hayward?
I raced in Old Hayward once. I had a bad experience there. So
oh,
So they
I'm
knocked
glad
it down
that we-
just for you. They said, no, we are done. Ellie had a bad race here.
we got to redo the whole track.
you kept both shoes on for this race?
I did.
Can you
Yeah,
tell us,
I
I guess, like how painful
Yeah,
that must
that's-
have been? That's
Okay,
what
let's
I'm
get
trying
some-
to
wait,
find.
time out, time out. We're giving some context here.
I would stop 10 out of 10 times instantly.
No, context. What happened? People
Yeah.
don't know.
Okay, so basically, sound running 5K was halfway into the 5K. My shoe got stepped on, so it was like kind of coming halfway off. This is like 6 laps to go, and in my mind, I was like, okay, well, I'm not gonna stop and put it back on. It was already coming off. I just shook it off. I come back around the next lap. I look at Coach Smith and I point down at my foot, and I'm like, what do I do? And he's like, oh, stay in. And I was like, okay. So this is where I'm at now. Just kind of. Yeah, shook it off and kept going. And I feel like every lap I felt it a bit more. But yeah, I would have stopped if it like really hurt.
Ouch.
So
you know?
did it hurt afterwards? Like
Yeah.
that's
Afterwards,
when
it
like
was
the
really
pain
painful.
sets in. You're like, oh
Like,
my
the
god.
adrenaline of the race, I feel like I was like, oh, it's fine. But then
And you got the world standard. So did
Yeah.
that kind of bathe over the pain of having a completely torn up foot?
oh yeah, the adrenaline rush. I
You
was
got
just
Sander with no shoes?
yeah.
Oh,
She had one shoe.
One shoe.
cool.
One
Yeah,
shoe.
Craig, what's going on? Come on, buddy.
Cool. I
We had
fell asleep. I'm
Alicia
just-
on here with like 6 jackets on. And we're
Craig,
just
you're not
freezing
cold?
here.
Honestly, I do need to go. I got work tomorrow.
You
All
can
right,
go.
yeah.
You can go.
Yeah, I appreciate it though.
All right,
Thank you
Craig.
so much for
Thanks so
coming
much
after the
stopping
final
by.
lap.
Come join us tomorrow.
Join us tomorrow again.
Come back.
We'll have
Bring your
we'll have
friends.
beers for you.
We'll have plenty of beer.
Yes.
Yes.
I was trying to figure out what was in that.
This is some champagne.
We got some
We're
champagne. Do
trying
you
to
want
get
some to celebrate your PR?
Maybe later.
Mike Smith is not watching right now.
You know, we're
We've
not
been
right
trying to get these men's 10K guys on, but I think they're ghosting us.
Yeah, this is kind of crazy.
We think
Really?
they
They
left.
left?
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I know I saw Sean walking out.
What?
Guys, we got ghosted. They're gone.
Wow.
I'm sorry to be the one to break it to you.
Yeah.
Come closer. Come on in. You know.
Wait,
All
we're
right.
not done talking about this one shoe race.
foot wonder.
Yeah, the 1 foot wonder is what we're calling that epic 5K. So it hurts afterwards, and you look at it and you're just like, I can't run for how long? How much did you take? How much
I
time?
just took a day off.
1 day off.
Did you
Yeah.
tape it after?
No. Well, okay, no, yeah. We put some like Neosporin, put some Band-Aids over it, but honestly, I never even ended up popping the blisters. They're
Oh.
you want to see them right now?
No.
Free feet pics.
Free fix.
Just show them off.
Is it still bad?
No, I didn't feel them like after. So I took
Mac,
that
do you
one
want
day
her to
off
show
and-
them?
No, really.
No, we don't.
That was
No,
sort of-
no
I
one
was
wants
just throwing
that.
out there.
She wouldn't do it for real.
There's way too many.
off for free.
Oh wow, our YouTube viewers just
Oh my
jump.
goodness, everyone's on.
$3,000 for free pics.
All right, let's talk a little bit about your training squad. You guys do a lot of workouts up at the NAU track.
We do.
You are.
7,000 feet.
Do you ever go down?
We have actually, like recently, I feel like we started going down a bit more. We've been going to the Cottonwood track. I feel like I don't know exactly what that's at, like 3,000, high 3,000.
Okay.
Something like that. That's been.
Because I feel
so
like I saw
nice.
a lot of photography from a lot of months of you guys just killing yourselves at NAU at 7,000 feet.
Which I'm really grateful for. I feel like that was like really was able to get that adjustment period, you know? And then now going down, it just feels so much better. Just get so much more oxygen.
New York is like photographer central when it comes to like races. Like there's 20 photographers at any single track race. But I feel like recently, like Flagstaff has had like at least like 3 photographers per practice. So you have no shortage of content when it
That
comes
is
to.
true. It's the runner's dream. Like, I mean, how else are?
Have you ever run into sort of the point where you're like, like I've got nothing but workout photos, and like I need just normal, casual, like I'm hanging out.
I was
clothes.
literally thinking about that today.
Really?
I was looking at I posted on Instagram today and I looked at it and I was like, huh, there was a time where I would like never post about running. You know, I was like, you know,
Well, it wasn't your job.
that's true.
Yeah.
Nikki and I were having this conversation. Nikki, Emma, and I were having this conversation recently, and I realized that I was a pick-me runner girl. If that makes sense. You know what a pick-me is?
No.
Can you define it for us?
Yeah, define it.
millennials.
We were trying to actually look that up on Urban Dictionary, and I think a pick-me girl is a definition of a girl who's, you know, like I'm not like other girls. Like,
Yeah.
Like,
So you're like, I'm not
drink
like
beer
other
and,
runners.
watch
I don't just
sports.
post running photos.
Yeah, like that was me. I was like, oh, like
Yeah.
I don't post running photos. Like I don't wear a watch. Like I don't
You
know
d-
anything about running. And now, I've
And
learned
now-
to be more of a runner nerd. But
You don't wear a watch?
I don't. I own a Timex, so sometimes I'll wear that for workouts.
What about easy runs?
I just run with people.
And they have it?
Yeah.
So you're not even on you're not on Strava or anything, right?
No, I've seen Strava once or twice. Like I've looked over at people's phones and like they have.
Okay, so
like,
if there's a
Strava.
run and it's like an easy day and you feel kind of terrible, do you ask someone, hey, what's the pace? Or you're just
No.
like, nah, this
Wow,
wasn't
this is kind of
like,
crazy.
this
to
wasn't
me.
my day.
Yeah, it's just. I feel like
Did-
at altitude, that's been the best like thing for me is that I don't know. Like if I'm running 8:30 pace and it feels hard, I'm like, oh well, like I'm getting
too
a good
fast.
training day.
You
today.
did
It's
this
too
all
fast.
through college as well?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, because we just run together every day. You know, like if you have a pack of people running together, like, you know, you hear like 10 beeps every mile, so you pretty much know where you're at.
Are you one of the people who gets annoyed by the beeps, or you don't mind?
I
them?
used to. I feel like you get used to them. You know, they're kind of like
Yeah.
white noise now.
It sounds like you're not the person that gets annoyed by much easily.
Go with the flow, you know. Ride
This is
it
the
out.
most chill I think I've ever seen anyone. Just about just track
Yeah.
being your profession.
Well,
That's why I say I need to be more of a track nerd. you
Yeah,
know?
right.
I need.
all right, track nerd, what's your next race?
Portland Track Fest, 1500.
1500? Oh, okay.
It's gonna be fun.
Coming
Wait, when's the
down to
last 15 you've run?
I ran at Mount Sac this two weeks ago. Was that 2 weeks ago?
Wait, was it really that empty? Like the stadium? Like
Yeah. It
This
was
is like
kind of
no
a
one
ghost town.
there.
It was crazy. I feel like it was. I mean, this sounds bad, but it kind of felt like a high school meet. You know, like you're just kind of like.
No, high school
meet
meets have more
you're
people than
chilling.
that.
It's true. But it was like really like it. It
Easy,
felt nice.
Chris.
This after the final lap, you know,
It's unhinged at this point.
It's unhinged at this point. This is late night.
It was late night for us, popping the champagne.
We were
like-
saving
Yeah.
these, so this is a call out for you, Joe Klecker. One of these is yours.
Yeah, Joe Klecker, if you're watching this at home,
you're watching
Joe Klecker
that-
might be in the hotel by now and tuned
He's
in.
actually asleep. He's
And-
showered. He's gone to bed.
We have a nice $7 bottle of prosecco for you.
All right,
You
Ellie.
can still bring us. You can still show up tomorrow.
All right,
Yeah.
guys. Thank
Yeah.
you so much, Ellie, for coming
Yeah,
up
thank
out
you.
the final lap.
Yeah,
It's fun. See you guys later.
yeah.
See you.
All right.
Is this our final lap?
I think so. I think we might have to call it. It's 1 a.m. on the East Coast. We still have almost 200 people watching
Don't
with
worry,
us.
tomorrow, guys. There will be more action.
What are you guys doing watching this? Come on.
No,
I'm curious, like for the people in the YouTube chat, before we sign off, like where are you tuning in from? Because I do want to know who the diehard track and fields fan are. If you're in Europe and you're tuned
Rise
into
the
this,
morning.
it's awesome. We
Rise
also
and
have people
shine.
watching on Twitter. That's another, thing that we're doing. We're streaming this on Twitter as well, so you can find us on both those platforms. So,
Is there anyone else in the mix zone, Keith? Oh, I won't read my texts.
oh, okay.
Hey,
All right.
Chris. What if we've lost
someone
tomorrow? Maybe
to
we
drug
send you out
testing.
with the remote mic
I think that's gonna
on
be the move.
FaceTime.
Yep.
And then we'll just
Grid walk it.
We
yeah,
mixed
we'll grid walk it through.
Yeah.
And we'll really piss some
Guys,
people off.
drug testing is a killer.
All right. So
Takes
I think that
forever.
we're going to call it there. Thanks for tuning in to After the Final Lap, here after the USATF 10,000 meter championship races.
It's been real.
It's
and
been
we're back
awesome.
tomorrow.
Back tomorrow. So subscribe to the CITIUS MAG YouTube channel. Set your alerts because we'll be going live tomorrow afternoon. And
with a lot of people. Like, because there's a lot of
There's a
races
lot of
and
action
a lot of
happening.
events.
Races.
So
we might just go live and
The
then
couch
see
is open.
people
Yeah.
who's willing to sit down with us. It'll be great. So everyone, thanks for tuning in. Have a good night.